Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening whenever you've decided to watch this video. It's Mr. Jones from the Geography Department, and I'm going to talk you through the Information Text Assessment lesson. You should have mind maps in your book or notepad on cattle ranching, coltan mining, and oil drilling. So, today we're going to be doing the assessment. So it's an information text, and I'm going to talk you through the objectives and give you a bit of a guide on how to plan and how to write it. So you're all going to produce a letter to Jair Bolsonaro, who is the president of Brazil, about the problems of rainforest exploitation in his country. Exploitation, the use of his rainforest for other people's gain. Most of you will be able to include specific facts and figures to back up your points, and some of you will be able to link the problems in the Amazon to wider concept. So we're looking at global warming, for example. So, planning your information text. I recommend doing a mind map. You might want to do bullet points. Ideally, with a mind map on an A5 paper, you want to be using a full size, A4, maybe 2/3. So we want deforestation in the middle. We've got 4 points coming off each side then. First one, I want the Amazon rainforest. This is just your knowledge and your understanding. Where is it? So it's in Brazil. What is the climate like? So we know it's hot and wet. And any information you've gathered in previous lessons about the wildlife, about the plants, about the soil, etc., etc. Then you're going to look at kind of the impacts and the exploitation. So we're going to look at cattle ranching. So this should be similar to the mind map you made previously. Oil drilling. Exactly the same here, and coltan mining, the exact same here. It's important to plan like this because you'll have your information ready when you're writing your text. So please pause the video and create your plan. Make sure it's got plenty of detail that you can use in your information text later. So pause the video and resume when you're ready. Okay, welcome back. You need to make sure you've included the following things in your information text to make it a success. Remember, this is an assessed piece of work. So, have you started with an opening paragraph to describe what the letter is about? You need an introduction. Who are you? What are you looking at? What do you want to talk about? Have you used cause and effect connectives? This leads to. This means that. It's easy enough to say, with the trees and the leaves not being able to intercept the rainfall, the rain will reach the ground quicker. That's a good point, but I want you to go further. This means that the soil will be loose, the soil will flood. This then means that we will have issues like flooding and mudslides. So as you can see, I've used connectives to further my point. If you chop down too many trees, you might remove animal habitats. Again, a good point. Let's see a connective. This might then lead to a lot of insects and animals that we've never discovered becoming extinct. That's what I mean by using connectives for causes and effects. Have you included specific facts and figures? On your mind map previously, you should have put the amount of oil drilling, how much land is taken up by cattle farming, this type of information you got from your resources. You can refer back to those on the previous lesson. Again, the knock-on effects is back to what I said with the connectives. So this means that, this leads to, and then you give those points, such as the rain reaching the soil quicker, which can lead to flooding and mudslides, which would be knock-on effects, extinction of animals. Have you used geographical key terms? The more geographical key terms you'll use, the higher marks you get. The first early ones I expect is things like deforestation rather than just cutting down trees. Habitats, words for animals' homes. You can go even further and refer to nutrient cycle, hydrological cycle, erosion of the soil. Okay, so these are some of the ideas you need to include. So you can refer back to this while you're writing. So I put a writing frame on this slide, which is available to all. I'd recommend sticking closely to it, but if you want to change it slightly, it's up to you. So I've started with Dear Jair Bolsonaro, my name is, and please put your name, and I am a pupil at Ponte Comprehensive School in South Wales. We have been studying. Let him know that we've been looking at the Amazon rainforest and we've moved on to the causes and effects of deforestation. I think it is important you are made aware that the rainforest in your country is being exploited and the consequences this could have for the environment and your people. So that's your nice opener. Then you're using your first part of your mind map, the Amazon rainforest. This needs to be a paragraph based on where is the Amazon rainforest, what it entails, what is the climate, what animals live there. Everything you know about the Amazon rainforest should go in this paragraph. And then set up your 3 points of exploitation. Firstly, let's look at coltan mining. Refer back to your points. What damage is it creating? Remember, knock-on effects. Use the connectives successfully. So again, if the coltan mining is removing areas which could have animals' habitats, this leads to extinction. It's creating barren land. It's creating dead soil. No nutrients in the soil. This then leads to no chance of plants regrowing. So remember, knock-on effects are so important in geography. Secondly, there's the issue of oil drilling. Again, you're referring to your information. Remember to include facts and figures throughout. Finally, cattle ranching is a major problem. Again, this is the same. Please pay attention to it. How much information can you put in there? Look at the knock-on effects. The main thing I'll be looking, or Miss Gleason will be looking when we mark your work, is do you understand the actual impacts? It's easy to say indigenous tribes will be moved or their homes will be destroyed, but then move on to more. What happens when they move? Do we end up losing indigenous species and people who have had a home there before deforestation and these companies came in and they now have to find somewhere else? Is the deforestation then going to follow them? Once you have made a points for each and your arguments, you have your conclusion. Your conclusion will be a summary of your points. What is your view? What do you think needs to be done? When looking at these points and the knock-on effects, as you remember in the objectives, try and look bigger than just Brazil. Think of global warming. Try and mention that. Try and mention the impacts it will have on the world. So, this is your assessment. Please take your time with it. Again, if you feel now reading this that your mind map didn't have enough detail, go back, touch it up, make sure, right, I need this fact, this figure, or I can refer to that. I understand completely what the knock-on effects are. I'm not just going to say without trees the rainfall will hit the ground faster. I need to know why that's a problem. So you need to tell me about it eroding the soil. You need to tell me that with less trees there are less leaves to be shed all year round, which leads to less nutrients in the soil. This means there's less of a chance of the regrowth of other trees. So, once you've done that, you will then move on to yours sincerely and your name to finish the letter. Again, good luck with this. Any questions, hopefully you'll be able to contact me through Teams. I will set up a class. Me or Miss Gleason will be more than happy to help. So, when you're ready, get started with this and I will see you next lesson. Good luck. Thank you very much for listening. Crack on with it and I look forward to seeing you. Thank you very much.